There we go. Hey, Scott, how are you, my friend?
Good evening. I'm doing good. Thank you. And you?
I'm doing great. It's great to see you again. As Joey says, on the best night of the week, I look forward to this every week, and I know you do as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, our mascot, Joey. Hi, everyone. Hope you are well and doing good. It's the best night of the week. Let's go. Absolutely. And Scott, you've got to come up sometime. You're a very handsome fellow, Scott. Good evening, everyone from snowy Virginia. Yes, everywhere I go, I look at these train videos in different stations all over the states, and there's snow in every part of the states. Now, I'm going to get, before I do the next question, I'm going to get the guys up because we're going to need them. So we'll add to the stage Jack and Jim. Hey, Jim, how are you? Great to see you, Jim.
Hi, thank you.
And great to see you, Jack. How's things in snowy Tennessee?
It's snowy and icy.
What about in London, Jim?
London's rainy and damp, as always.
It is. Okay, so I've got some questions here, and then please chime in. Andrew Moss, he's using from the Canberra office. Greetings from the Canberra office. Have a great show. Thank you, Andrew. Question: other than the original and Ravel orchestration, the original and Ravel's orchestration of Mussorgsky's pictures and exhibition, are there any other versions you think works, gentlemen? What do you think?
Yes.
Which one? Well, that's the Ravel.
It is.
What other version is there besides the piano and the?
Well, there's a Russian one.
There's a Stokowski one.
Stokowski arranged it at the same time Ravel did. Then
I didn't know.
He went to a concert with the Ravel orchestration, and he got his and went in the bottom drawer. It's since been out.
This is a good sounding record.
Oh, I know how much you love that record.
Oh yeah, that is great.
So I think Ravel ruined it for everybody because it's so perfect. It actually, I played it lots of times, and it literally plays like an orchestral piece. You don't even think of it as a piano piece. It's that good. Then Andrew says, afternoon here, summer almost over, and a few bushfires. Oh, stay, yeah, and boy, the fire's there. 52 degrees today, and sunny here today. Nick, hey Nick, how are you? Good evening, Anthony and Scott. Good evening, Nick. Nick is I think Nick's in Boston, I think, and is high-end audio guy, a wonderful human being.
Mm-hmm.
Ted. Anyone else know Ted other than me? Ted's from Toronto, and
No.
Ted, I took your advice today, and I listened to. I didn't get a picture of it, so I can't show it. And I had to listen to the Pulcinella with the Toronto Symphony, and Gustavo Jimeno, the conductor, is very suave, ex-percussionist from the Concertgebouw, a very fine conductor. And you're right, Ted, it's very good. One problem. The last bit, I was with each C got a little bit sharper as we get going. I know it's not the other principal who's Andrew McCandless, who's now now at Eastman, and then it slows down the last one. So yeah, I've got the Academy of Mountains and the Fields, which I just talked about on my Argo recording, which is absolutely sublime. And my number one, but there's also the LSO with who's the great trumpet player, Star Wars trumpet player? I always forget his name.
Morris Murphy.
Yeah, and Morris Murphy on that. Oh my God, it's amazing. Each high C, bang, 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 bang. Yeah, so good, but the rest of it was very good. And the trumpet playing was excellent too, just a little bit. I thought nothing offensive. So we have lots of questions, and Nick also said hi to James and Jack. But anyway,
Hi, Nick.
And great to see you here, Ted. Come up sometime, Ted. And Scott, great videos this week from your respective channels, Jack and Scott. Wonderful.
Thank you.
I'll try to knock another one out tomorrow. Try.
I look forward to that. Jacob Spector. I think Jacob is new. I think if you are Jacob, a very warm welcome to you. I'm so glad you're catching us live. We'll have lots of time tonight. So if you get a chance to come up and say hi. From Montreal, yes. 45, 50 centimeters. As Leanne says, she's in Lachute. Snowmageddon.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
Andrew from Oz. Jim, could you read that, buddy?
I need to apologise to Jim. I misappropriated the article on Elgar Symphony No. 2 to Anthony. Sorry. Good article.
Jim, notice what I did in the letter? I said, thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everyone just assumes you do everything now. Anyway, you're the audiophilia potentate, aren't you? So
Misappropriator is a big word.
Audiophilia potentate. That's cuts to the quick, my friend.
No, just when you are, aren't you? You're the audiophilia potentate.
Hang on, I'm going to get the producer, and she can have a word with the love of her life, Jim. She's not going to be happy with you. Anyway, Jacob, great to see you. Andrew also says, I believe there are about 30 versions of pictures. Yes, I know. It's so arrangeable, but you know, when you got the Ravel one.
The other Ravel, if anybody cares, is the Reiner on Chicago is it Cleveland on RCA?
No, Chicago. The Reiner pictures is great. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
This is Octopus Tree Audio. This is Max from Audiophilia. Excuse me. Howdy, team. Now, John Pedersen Photography. Do you know John?
John and I teach workshops together. And I just sent John some Sibelius CDs and some other stuff. John's a good, probably more of an audiophile than I am. He knows his stuff. So, Anthony, you and John and Scott and John and probably Jim and John will get along better than I do audio wise. So.
Hello from Oregon. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, John. Thanks for coming up. And here we are, James Myers, the Cleveland fanboy. Good evening. Flew across the U.S. today. Snow from mountains of Washington all the way to Ohio. It's good. I'm glad you're back home, James. We've missed you. Hope you can come up sometime. Tell us all about your MBL, N51, and all the other goodies that you've been getting in your life. And I'm wondering how your phono stage is going. I know that Nick Pantazzi has some good ideas about phono stages as well.
We have to get James on when we get what's the gentleman's name that we had on
Robert Wolfrey from the team.
Man, what a great interview!
Isn't he wonderful?
James, go back and watch that. It was superb.
Wait till you remember the Robert Wynn one, which how funny. We got I'll talk about that in a second. Who's coming up next week? He's wonderful. And Frederick, hi Frederick. Latest Calidor Beethoven quartets on gramophone editor's pick. I guess they've arrived. I'm just kidding.
Hi, Frederick.
Yeah.
Arthur's Hollycrafters Kitchen and Audio Lab. Hi. I know you're new. So welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. A very warm welcome to you. I can't stop buying classical vinyl. The most underrated releases are DG Tulip pressings. Well, it's interesting that you say that because tomorrow.
Drum roll.
Tomorrow, that is coming up. My top 10 DG Tulip pressings, courtesy of my friend Ryan of Maui, who sent me a few, and it was amazing. Don't believe anyone that says DG all sounds bad. They don't. The later ones do because they went to solid state, but they're tube remastering on the tulips. Many of them are brilliant and audiophile. So audiophile and inexpensive. That's coming up tomorrow.
And the stores don't realize that either, and you can still pick these tulip pressings up relatively cheap.
I've got the prices on everything. The near mint, no shipping. But
Yeah,
€7, €8.
That last week, it was only $20 for the whole Bruckner cycle. Yoakum tulip.
Thank you, Frederick. Check in the mail, Jim says. Wicked Exile says, good evening, crew. Hey, Wicked, how are you, buddy?
Hey.
And then Andrew says, thanks for that Lyrita article, Anthony. Try and get the other whole Lyritas are excellent as well. Hey, I'm going to talk about another Lyrita tonight, which is interesting. Hey, Sky. I mentioned you in the in the tulip video on Friday, just so you know, with great love and affection. And Ryan, good evening, all. Congrats to the Caldwell Quartet. Absolutely. Isn't that wonderful? Well, they're amazing. And Armin is listening in the car. Safe driving, Armin. Great to.
LA, please be safe.
Jacob's in Montreal. We're still snowed in. And Arthur's said, awesome. Yeah, I hope you can get a chance to watch it on Friday. Looking forward to that DG video tomorrow. Well, it's on Friday, actually. On Friday, 8 a.m. Live at 8 a.m. Okay, so that's that. So now let me just get this up and go back a couple. So next week, dear Scott, my incredible co-host, well, the other potentate of audiophilia, by the way, Jim, and he'll be the potentate next week, buddy. Scott's indisposed next week, so he won't be here when Andy Finden is here. Andy Finden, I was talking to today. We had a wonderful conversation. He's the first call London Flute. He's actually playing Les Mis tonight as a sub. National Symphony, Michael Nyman Band, 50 movie scores. I mean, he's got lots to tell us and a lot of fun stuff. You really enjoy him. And then we got other people coming. By the way, Jim has organized 2 visits. One, you can see Andrew Cornell. He's the vice president of A&R at EMI Classics. That's going to be wonderful. Boy,
it'll be great.
Andrew knows where all the skeletons are. That'll be wonderful. And Jim, who's the mezzo soprano? What's her name?
Jennifer Johnson.
Yeah, from the Bavarian State Opera.
Yeah, well, she's been under contract to Bavarian for years, and she's sung with Velsa Merst in Cleveland. She opened the Proms last year with the Verdi Requiem. She's one of the world's leading mezzos now.
Jennifer Johnson. Check out her British singer. Check out her Wikipedia. Wow.
Yeah.
That girl's got a hell of a Wikipedia page.
Yeah. She's quite a girl.
Oh, good. We're looking forward to meeting him. Where's Sky when we need him? Okay. Well, Armin. Arthur's Hallicrafters. Arthur, I'm just going to call you Arthur. The Carry-On Tulip Beta box was a thrift find last summer for $1. Yeah. Wonderful. To get it on the Tulip. When it was remastered, it's okay. There were some of the carry-ons. I'm going to talk about one in a minute. Some are okay.
Anthony, when you talk about your tulip boxes, is there a way to tell that it's a tulip without taking the record out of the sleeve?
Great question. No, I don't think so. Because the cartouche, the ones in red, you can tell because they're stereo in red. But the second pressings, which are mainly mine, they're stereos in black. And so it's hard to tell, I think.
Okay.
I mean, the series number 138 that starts with 138 is at least the early series.
Yes. Yeah, you need to get into the numbers. I say the numbers I give you all the information on each of the records. Yeah. Andrew from Oz, great thing if you do a Friday YouTube. I get to watch it over Saturday morning breakfast. Oh, that's fine. Nice. So sweet. And Mark says, I have quite a large tulip collection, so looking forward to your video and comments. I'm looking forward to yours too, Mark. I know that I think you commented on a couple of videos. That's great. So now, go ahead, Scott. You're up, buddy.
Oh, well, this video debuted 2 days ago or yesterday. Actually, yesterday.
Jen.
Yeah. The Ramar record brush. It's right here too. It's fabulous.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And it should be.
There it is.
Boy,
I love this. I love this. When it just
click.
Yeah. And yes, expensive, but it's 5 years old. I've used it like 5 times a day, and it's like as new. Plus the
yeah, there was a lot of grumbling about the price in the comments, but
got to pay to play, as they say.
Yeah. What was the brush that replaced, Scott? Because I have that old brush that you have.
The other one I have?
Yeah.
The Ursa Major.
Yeah, and you have a major difference, correct?
It's quite a difference, yeah.
I can't speak highly enough about that brush. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it is. It's expensive. Okay.
You're paying for a small scale production, hand finishing. You know, it's quite a luxury product for sure.
And then you get the false advertising of a top 10 when you're doing a top 13. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a bonus, Anthony. It's a bonus.
I'm just kidding. I get to preview it. It's a wonderful video. Everybody should watch it. Why don't you tell them a little bit more about it, Scott?
Well, as I've been doing these analog productions, Living Stereo videos for the last 3 years, now the supply is really dwindling. We lost like 8 titles in 2 weeks. So instead of doing one every 2 weeks or so and doing full shootouts, I mean, I will continue that, but I wanted to kind of like let everyone know what I think are the best of the ones that are left over. There's like 40 titles. So I picked 13 that I think are must-haves. So that's what we talk about in this video.
You need to make sure that Chad Kasem sees that video.
He will
He does.
He
Oh, he
It's a
does.
great video. I got a chance to see it preview. It was wonderful.
He's
And
like this.
I mentioned that one. That's coming up on Friday morning. Please watch and subscribe, all that jazz.
Absolutely.
And the most important thing, though, I mean, is I love these subscriptions, but I love the comments. I do. And the comments are mostly absolutely amazing, by the way. So keep them coming. And I'm doing this one. I just started this one, researching it today. Analog phonic audiophile records from Korea. Are they still in business? Our readers, that's you guys in the peanut gallery and the comments and on my Instagram. I put out an all call for comments, and I got so many. So thank you, because I only know 2. So our readers give you the answers and the recommendations. So that's coming probably in a week or 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so we'll get rid of that for a second. Remove. Okay, so I'm going to go big for a second, guys, and just show a couple of things. Okay, this young lady, my review is up at Audiophile right now. Kristen Lee is a Juilliard trained. She's born in South Korea, Seoul, and Juilliard, and then she's now a professor at I think there's the school at Max from Audiophile went to the University of Cincinnati College Conservatory of Music. She's a violin professor there. She's playing a Galliano violin. She's absolutely wonderful. But the reason I ordered this from Jensen Artists, not the stream. I don't do stream. I don't like streams unless it's for research. But this I wanted for my collection, and it's absolutely wonderful. It's John Novacek, 4 rags. She does a couple of standards, and I got a bit scared because I think about Jim and my old mate Yuri Menuhin trying to do jazz. And Stefan Grappelli. It didn't go well. Yuri Ticano was singing. Oh God, awful. I feel pretty, oh so pretty. God, I mean, it's just awful. And even Freddie von Stauder, one of my favorite artists, singing pop music, jazz. It doesn't go. Kristen can swing, man, and she has great violin chops. Her bow arm is absolutely amazing. Great technique, and the most important thing about her is her tone. And on the MBL CD player, it was just beautiful. It's high res, but it's not SACD, which is interesting. Anyway, so already they've read it. FHR added me on Instagram, sent me 500 emails. Would you review this? Would you review this? Would you review this? Anyway, it's a lovely recording. Highly recommended. And I got this from our friends at Triptych. Sorry, from our friends at Eudora, that Spanish company that does super SACDs. And this is Ricardo Galán playing Preludes and Dances from Brazil on the guitar. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And of course, as typical with Eudora, beautiful production values. And the sound is magnificent. So if you're a guitar fan and you like Villalobos, and that, very good. Now, 2 records to show. One stunning, one not so good. This is the one that's not so good. I'm glad it came late because I didn't include it in my review, in my video, but I wouldn't have anyway, because the Marin Symphony, which I got through Jim, which is incredible and very, very creative and unique. English, but unique. The violin concerto is lovely. Some beautiful passages, played beautifully by John Georgiadis, the great violinist from the Concertmaster of the LSO, Brendan Hanley, the LSO, well recorded. I'm not sure where it was recorded. probably Kingsway or Walthamstow.
Mm.
But it doesn't go many places. I heard the Tulip and Sugar is better. The Symphony is fantastic. You should get that. So that one, I can recommend it if you want a completist for Lyrita and you like the great sound and you like good fiddle playing. He's a great player. But the piece itself, to me, doesn't really go anywhere. Now this one, I have to thank Alan for. I have the basic carry-on one that done on the what's it called, solid state, and it's very good. It's one of the better carry-ons. It's certainly the best played Sibelius 5 out there. I think there are so many places I could talk to you about and show you scores and that you just have to take my word for it. It's just there's no better playing, from the horn call, the flutes, the clarinets, the strings, the horns, and the swan theme at the end. I mean, it's just amazing. But I wanted to get this, and I didn't realize it. And then I saw Alan had it. Yeah. Now I'm going to tell you, I didn't really put it in the video, but this Tulip is so remarkable. And the other one is like, it's good, it's fine, great. This one, the way he screws up the tension carry-on that Sibelius writes, and the ending, when the horns and the trumpets and the trombones are just giving it some, as they say in England, some real welly. It's overwhelming. I had it quite loud. It was getting louder and louder and louder and more intense, but not distorting in any way. So at Günther Hermann's, probably the Jesus Christ Church in Dahlem in Berlin. But that is, and I won't tell you, mine is in order, my tulips, from 10 to 1. I'm not going to tell you which is my number 1. But you can have, but if Alan, thank you for showing me that. I realized there was an earlier pressing and tulip, but the difference between the tulip and the standard later Deutsche Grammophon is remarkable. Like the gentleman was saying earlier, that really amazing. So there's that. That's it for me for now. We're going to go to some questions. And if you guys want to just jump in and say something, that's fine.
Just goes to show what DG carry-on could sound like before he got crazy.
Well, he didn't fiddle around with it.
Right.
So even if it's solid state remastering, it's still pretty good. Still one of the best ones. But when it was done with that tube remastering and the warmth and the detail and the power and the bass, like I'm like, what the bass is? You know, the horn theme, bum, bim, bum, 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 bum. Just before the horn theme comes in, the basses give you the idea. Bum, bim, bum. And literally, where is that coming from? Like it's from subterranean. It's wonderful and it's solid. And I cannot recommend that record highly enough. I mean, I played it like 3 times today. Scott mentioned. Why don't you read that one, Jack? Can you read that?
Yeah, it says on some of the DGs, mostly in the 70s, they actually put the pressing date on the inner sleeve. That's
yes, but the tulips are the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
By the 70s they'd already gone to and Joey says, "Can you read that, Scott?"
Great video, Scott Wilson. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Joey.
And Scott says, "Scott, just brush off the complaints about the price." Look,
Yeah.
there's nothing worse than VC guys or high-end audio guys to whine about stuff. Just ignore them. I said to Scott, he said there's a little bit of pushback. I said, ignore or delete. That's your choice. Don't worry about it. Of course, it's $325. Don't buy it. It's too expensive. But if you can afford it, when I see a Lamborghini and I go, oh my God, I wish I had it. How come that person? I just go, oh, wonderful. The guy's got some money. The Lamborghini's a beautiful car. I can't afford one. It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
It's okay. Just relax. Take it easy.
Just sell that in Malcolm Arnold Loretta. You can buy the brush.
That's right. That's right. Arthur said, digital was when Carry-On truly went mad. Yeah.
Correct.
HBK Sibelius says, I've also got another one in the video. You should have to watch the video to see which. It's fantastic. And let's see what we got here. Oh, I missed quite a few. Here we go. Postal Playboy. That's Matthew. Hey, Matthew, how are you, bud? That brush looks hot. It is. It's Scott does such a beautiful video. I mean, how I would have described it. It's great by Scott does this beautiful, his job and training in graphic arts, right? Right, Scott?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, and you just bring this beautiful kind of organic elegance to the way you describe things. And it's a great brush. It really is. And Wicked Exile says, Scott, maybe Chad will see this dwindling at the Shaded Dogs. So because we used to reconsider represses. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Frederick loves Kristen Lee's CD. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad you got it. And Joey says Kristen Lee is wonderful. Yeah, she is really, her tone is gorgeous and she manipulates it really, really well. Anthony, did you get a chance to listen to Ryan's gift of the Sheffield to do? Yes, I did. It was about the first one on the Degritter and on the record. Yeah, it's wonderful. Some of those Sheffield labs were not as successful. It doesn't matter. You have the brilliant fill when it goes live, and you're doing it live to the lathe. Oh, it's terrifying. Yeah. I mean, Jim and I, we did a show on the BBC once. Remember, Jim? And we're sitting there, and we had to do the solos. I did Daphne. And red light comes on. And the director goes, and he's like, my heart's like, blah, 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 blah. It's terrible.
Even the other Sheffields that they did, the jazz oriented, not all of them sound that great. I mean, there's one or two of them that sound good. Not all of them are.
That's what I remember from the reviews, Jack. This is really excellent.
Yeah.
I think it's conducted by Leinsdorf. And I was reading some excerpts from John Georgiadis' book, The Fellow from the Morin Phalanx. And he said, nothing much there. He didn't like Leinsdorf at all. And James, agree with Kristen Lee, such a great person too. Well, we're hoping her people, as they say, Jensen artists are trying to get her on. And Loki, hey Loki, how are you, buddy?
Hey Loki.
I've got that. Which one are you talking about? Oh, the symphony, the Sibelius 5. Do you have it in the regular pressing, or do you have it in the tulip pressing? Because I will tell you, sometimes not much difference.
I have the regular pressing. It's not that good.
Yeah,
the CD actually sounds as good as the record does. Frankly,
this is really amazing. Look, you'll have to come up and show us and tell us what your equipment is. Now, before we go to the next question, let me just get Scott on for a second. Scott, tell us a little bit about your new equipment. How's it going? Show us your mug.
This is my mug. This is my mug.
Oh.
Yeah. Rob Fritz, who I've been dealing with at Audio Art Cable, he's working with me to get the cabling right for the system. And it's not installed yet because I overestimated the lengths on some things, and the cable's quite bulky, so we're going to work on that a little bit. But the turntable, oh my God. I wish Andy would.
Can you show us?
What's that?
Can you show us the turntable?
Yeah, sure. Hold on a second. It's not lit really well, but.
That's okay. Perpetuum Ebner, correct?
How do I turn this around? Oh, yeah. Yeah, Perpetuum Ebner. What a pleasure to use.
And the Ortophone is good? The Ortophone cartridge?
Yeah, the Ortophone cartridge. Quintet Black. Yeah, I mean, I was really, really surprised because I didn't have really good experience with a Shibata stylus before. I had the Hana, didn't like it. But this, I don't know if it's just set up beautifully at the factory or what, but it's spot on and it just sounds great. I haven't done any comparisons with the VPI Scout yet.
It looks beautiful.
Really just kind of breaking it in and getting used to that. So it's great.
It looks absolutely beautiful. Enjoy it, my
Yeah.
friend, and enjoy the cables. Cables are going to make a big difference. People say cables don't make a difference, but that's nonsense. They really do. They make a big difference.
Yeah, though it should make a difference in my system because, I didn't really have anything too special in there. So
Andrew from Oz says there is a WRC Oz release of that Arnold, cheap and uses OG stamp as same as the ZAL number. Oh, well, way to go! Because it's one of the best records I have in my collection, in my vault. I totally stolen Scott's name, right? And Wicked says, I love that particular Sheffield. The rational piece in partnership with reference are magnificent. Wow. And Picklina Aussie, how you doing, Oz? Good evening, Anthony, Scott, James, and Jack. Does anyone have Frank Zappa's orchestral works? Gentlemen?
no, I don't.
I do. Friggin' genius. Frank Zappa, everyone knows the stories, Mother's Invention. But it's just a brilliant musician. The Black Page, have a look at the Black Page ones. The Black Pages, the notation is just not solid black. It's just terrifying. I'm trying to remember the name of the CD. It's Demonstration, CD quality, Demonstration. Ensemble Modern from Germany. He comes and he walks on, does an intro. And then they play his orchestral music, which was really championed by Pierre Boulez. And he's an amazing composer. He has one piece called, okay, you're going to like the name, G-Spot Tornado. It's fantastic. And he has more of an extended, like a chamber symphony and stuff. He's a wonderful composer, wonderful. And yes, Oz, it's called the Golden something. Somebody wants to look it up. It's a CD. It's Ensemble Modern, and it's brilliant. It gives you a taste of all this great orchestral music, and it's the real stuff. The guy knows what he's doing. Jim, could you read that one, bud?
The King James, Harry James Sheffield pressing is very good.
I have to tell you, I'm not a Harry James fan, but the band he had on that record is unbelievable. It's so good. And that is the best Sheffield, period. Number one.
Scott, a couple for you here, buddy.
Oh, okay. I was just seeing, I have that right here.
Okay, I'm just here we go, Scott. It's one for you, buddy.
Scott, we see your back in the mirror.
This is Andrew's sense of humor. You know what I mean? Now, this one is funny, and I'm going to just evangelize a little bit about this. Okay. That's for you, Scott.
Bye-bye, Hannah. Yeah.
Hannah, the darling of the internet, the one that everyone must buy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Japanese kanji on it, which is made from different parts from the Netherlands and then handcrafted in China. Yeah. Look, I'll be honest with you. I don't have a lot of experience with Hannah. If you have a Hannah, go with God, love them. But even the distributor, I won't say his or her name, he or she wasn't too fussed with them. But, they get rave reviews on the internet, right? Reviews like Hegel, like Harbeth, like that. What's that tube one? It has that Vera Loom or something. I forget. But, if you have equipment that you like and works in your room and you like it, that's it. It works. It's the best. It's fantastic.
Anthony, a question for you on cartridges. And Scott, you too. If you have two turntables, would you recommend in a perfect world having the same cartridge on both turntables?
Well, and I would. Are you talking to Scott? Sorry.
Either one.
Scott, you answer first, buddy.
Well, I've thought about that only in terms of to compare the turntables because you really need the same cartridge on both. But I'm going to have Osvaldo switch the Ortofon Black over there and maybe the Phase-Mation back and forth too, so we can get a handle on what the turntable's doing and what the cartridge is doing. But yeah, no, I don't see a reason otherwise if you're not reviewing or comparing. I'd like to have a couple of different cartridges available.
Anthony, what do you think?
I'm just getting something from my friends here. Okay, that's it. The Yellow Shark.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a lot of his music, Ensemble Modern, brilliant recording, super, super, highly recommended. If that was on vinyl and it sounded like it would be on my dream list. It's that good. The music is really wonderful. And thank you, Jan, for trying to get that. That's his other record company. Sorry, Jack. What was your original question about two turntables?
If you own two turntables, like Scott has, is there any advantage to having the same cartridge on both?
No, I say the more the merrier. I have two references for that one, and I have one reference for that one. So and I use, why not use a mono? That's why I sent Scott the Miyajima. Like having a mono cartridge, and Scott's already got a fantastic phono stage. You can change the loading on the fly. Who makes your phono stage, Scott? I forget his name. I reviewed it.
Daniel Wright from Mod Wright.
They were an advertiser, and I reviewed it. I can't get old.
Yeah.
Great guy, Dan Wright, and great designer. And so that you got that. So you can switch the mono and have the mono cartridge, and then you can listen to mono records and get the immediacy of the mono with none of the noise and all the great stuff in mono. So no, I would, and anytime I've had two, unless you're doing reviews of, for a specific type of review. I'm sorry, I wish I could answer that better than I did. So Bye Bye Hannah, yeah. If you have Hannah, great. Not a fan. From the ones I've heard. Jeremy, hi Jeremy, how are you? I'd recommend Cleveland Orchestra Cell on EMI for the Dvorak. Are you talking about the Dvorak Slavonic dances? Because they are fantastic on Cleveland Cell. Absolutely, number one. I would say no. The Martinal LSO record is great, but that CD is pretty incredible. That's right, Frederick. That's what I do, and that's what Scott's going to be doing. Scott's going to have 3 turntables, so he's just going to have 3. So he can have his phase mission on one.
Oh
his,
yeah.
The VPI Shyla is coming.
Shyla,
as well.
probably, yeah.
And the Autophone, and then you can put the mono on one of them. So yeah, I don't want to cut on one of them.
No,
Absolutely.
I'll put the
Can
mono.
you not have one turntable and 3 arms?
Well, that's a great.
Well,
that's a great point. Yeah. Yes.
That's what's in here. John Duble helped me with this. John. This was a men's jewelry box, and I said I really need something to put the other arm in. So he helped me design this. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, the arm sits in like a holder, so it's protected. So that's where the.
Is that where the Hannah is?
No, the Hannah's on there now, right? What's
Okay.
on here is the little Audio Technica
yes.
magnet that Harry sent. So
That's lovely.
yeah.
Scott says cartridges add the flavor to the turntable. If you want a different flavor, have a different cartridge for each turntable. Works for the 2 turntables I use.
Yeah.
What turntables do you have, Scott? Jim, your question about arms is really good. Many turntables, John's don't. And I've talked to him about it, I think having a turntable that has 2 arms is the way to go. It really is, because it just saves you a lot of money. You have to do resetting of the VTA and stuff, but it's really the way to go. Have a turntable with 2 arms. And I think even the Bergman that I have, even they use multiple arms now. Sometimes you have turntables with 3 and 4 arms, but then you have different cartridges on. Like if I had 2 arms, I'd have my Akita Kai reference mono moving call on one, and then this analog relax masterpiece. There it is, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I listen to that cartridge, it takes my breath away. And then 2 mono cartridges. That would, then I wouldn't have to have sent my Miyajima away.
Yeah. Well, that Miyajima is going on that arm.
I know it is, buddy. I know. So yeah, great.
Miyajima and
It's a great question, Jim. Great question, Jim. What do you? I know that you just getting into it, and I'd love to get you to do an equipment review one day. What turntable are you using?
Oh, the carbon thingy. Don't ask me. No, what is it? The
Carbon
carbon?
the Project Carbon Debut. Great
Yeah,
entry-level
yeah.
turntable.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you know,
what I got.
Jim, if you want to make that turntable even better, you know, these record
Yeah.
weights, sometimes they do it. They have a called I think it's the Carbon Debut or the Project record weight. It's wooden, light wood. It was $88. You can probably get one cheaper from Angie. And boy, it kicks that turntable up 2 or 3 notches.
Okay.
Really good.
Look.
Yeah, the Octopus Tree Audio. Sorry, but that's.
But could I get another arm and put it on that carbon?
No, you could get it. It depends on what, if it would fits in the, it's called in the arm board. Like there has to have an arm board. You can't put 2 arms on the carbon. You have to take the one off and then put another one.
No, I see what you mean. Yeah, because there's only one sort of space for an arm. Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
2 turntables and a microphone. I'm not sure what that means, but why don't you talk a little bit about that? Arthur's talking about the Wagner ring. Tell me about why Schultes is so good, Jim.
Well, Schultes was good. I mean, Walter Weller, the conductor, who actually was leading the Vienna Philharmonic as well as Boskovsky on that. I mean, they actually worked out a sort of sound plan so that the singers actually moved around the stage as they were singing, which gave it a sort of a sense of drama, as opposed to just, you know, all of them standing there and singing away. And I think that was what helped it to get that sort of sense of drama as well. And of course, Schulte was a very dramatic conductor, wasn't he? Let's face it.
There's a couple of fantastic videos of him conducting the Siegfried's.
The interesting thing, though, wasn't it, that Schulte, the Vienna Philharmonic hated him because Schulte's idea of perfect orchestra was to have the Vienna Philharmonic string section and the London Symphony Orchestra wind and brass. And he actually went public and said that in a paper. And the Vienna Phil never forgave him for it.
I don't like that. No, we don't like to be compared. That's great, Jim. Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Okay, so now I'm going to go. Jim, did you have some records to show tonight? I know you've been busy. Did you get
no, I've got a few. Yeah.
Because your barb about Potentate has not gone unheard, and I want to make sure you're well looked after. I mean, we've only been best friends for 45 years and never had a cross word. But
no, I don't know. You protest too much. Right. Well, I got one here, which I think is really good. I just bought George Sell and the Cleveland Orchestra doing Rossini overtures.
Oh wow!
And that's quite a cracker.
Can you show us the label, Jim?
Yeah, let me find it wherever it is.
Is there a date on that one, Jim?
Oh, hold on. Where are we? If I can get the right record. The date. There we are. It's. The date is. No, it doesn't. Does it have something on the record sleeve? I think this is probably. No, it doesn't have any date at all. Not even a production date. Well, I can see.
Probably from the 60s, but I bet you it's incredibly well played.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I never associated him with Rossini particularly, but yeah, I mean, his sense of crispness of articulation sort of matches it brilliantly. Now, I found this the other day, which is interesting. Now, I don't know if anyone knows anything about this. Now, it's a Reader's Digest, The Planets, and
if they could have spent a little more on the cover.
Well, it's actually the London Philharmonic conducted by Bernard Haitink.
Well,
oh, that's a pretty good one.
Now, I don't know what year that was. It must be. No, again, it doesn't have any date on it. No, it doesn't have any date of the notes or anything on it. But I mean, I didn't know the Reader's Digest actually, had Haitink recording. That was quite interesting. And then I don't know if I showed you this one the other day. But it's not one of those hanging on the washing line DG things. It's Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau doing Die Winterreise. And the complete. It's on 3 LPs, and it's lovely. It's a lovely performance. But let me see if I got the. Oh no, where is it? Oh, it's disappeared. And then I've got the bells, Vladimir Ashkenazi.
That's a nice one. Yeah, lovely.
And that's a Decca. Well, it's a Decca Digital. It's one of the silver labels like that.
Nice.
But I think that sort of completes the London jewelry for this week. I don't think I've got anything else.
Great, Jim. Thank you.
I think that's it. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so Jack, you have some records to show us?
I have to show you. Some guy on eBay was selling for $10 3 Deccas. So I bought them. One of which I had already, but one is the Salty Strauss, which is really good.
Oh, sure.
The other one was the Salty Elgar 1 and 2.
Oh, that's
really good.
Does it have In the South on it?
Yeah, it does have it in the South.
Yeah, they're great recordings.
And then, of course, the Dorati Copeland. So $10.
Wow.
I think
Score, Jack. Score.
Oh, well. So I have 3 records that I don't know anything about, and they're all kind of in a series. And maybe someone could tell me about them. This is on a label called, it's all in Norwegian, so bear with me. It's the Oslo Philharmonic with Janssens. And there are 3 records of Grieg. And what's on here, Holberg is on here, some other tone poems, Symphonic Dance 64, Suite 50, Lyric Suite 54, and another Dance 35. But they're all great, and they all sound really good. Does anybody know about this label? I'll show you the label.
Never seen it before.
No.
Scott, what about you, Ben?
No, I have never seen it.
Oh, there's the back.
Beautiful. Did you listen to them yet?
Yeah, they were in my local place for.
Do they sound good? Do they sound good?
They sound fine. They sound great. And again, like Jim always says, I don't think they've ever been played. But I guess if you're gonna go with that, Janssens and Oslo, it's almost a home team, not quite, but it's real good.
Oh boy!
Oh yeah,
Turntable and the 4th.
Yeah, real good. Now this is a digital mastering record, but you know what? If you take that off the label, it's like the Mobile Fidelity situation. It sounds good. I don't care if it's digital. It sounds really, really good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
And it's the Blue Chandos, different Chandos label. I might have shown this many weeks ago, and if I have, excuse me, it's a Seraphim recording with Beecham. Jim,
wow.
What's your view of this? It sounds really good. I mean, it sounds as good as an Angel record does.
Well, Seraphim is mid-price. It's not too bad, the pressings.
Yeah.
But of course, Beecham, the Delius music. I mean, he created the whole passion for Delius. I mean, and Summer Evening is beautiful. He was great with the Grieg. He was great with Sibelius. I mean, that'll be a gem of a record. I'm not sure how great it sounds, but the playing will be great, and the interpretation will be fantastic.
The tapiola, or tapioca as we call it, is really, really good. Really good.
Paul, the violinist from Salzburg, said on the Norwegian Cultural. This is from you, on the Norwegian Cultural Council.
There you go. Thank you, Paul.
I think I have that Delius as a Capitol record.
And for
Well,
Scott,
some of the people, some record companies licensed those RPO Beechams after he died because they thought there'd be no market for them. So they licensed them really cheaply, didn't they, to various labels?
let me tell you, the Seraphim is for a budget.
Yeah.
It's real good.
You can find it.
It's real good. For Scott, I have to put a RCA in for Scott every week.
Yeah, the mono era, right?
Plum, yeah. Well, this is stereo.
Is
It's
it?
kind of strange. See that, Scott, up on top? It's just.
I think it's electronically reprocessed.
Yeah, I think Scott's right there, bud.
Yeah, it's
Right.
good. It's not as good as the one I showed last week, the Lemaire. Not as good, but interesting.
Jack, can I just show something for a second? Jan
Sure.
just got just if you're ever going to buy the Delius record, this is the one to get. It's not that expensive. It's an early, it's a postage stamp. These ASD are even more expensive. It's very early stereo. It's with the Royal Philharmonic with Dennis Brain on the French horn, and it's got Brick Fair, which is a masterpiece. Song for Sunrise, March Caprice, On Hearing the First Kicker in Spring. I mean, if you listen to Ormandy do that, it's lovely. The Philadelphia. Then you listen to Beecham do it. It's a different piece. It's just magnificent. So yeah, if you ever want to get that a D-list record, get One and Done. That's the one. It's also on. It's on CD.
Well, I like Delius's writing, so maybe I'll look for that.
There you go, bud. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Jack. But
No. That's what we're here for. Real good.
Oh, yeah, that's
real good. And for Columbia, it's a 2i, but it's clean, and he does just a bang up job with the third. Really good. This was 99 cents, folks, and it's real quick.
I got to play, Jack. I got to play a Nielsen, the Nielsen concerto and a Nielsen recital in the Nielsen Halle in Denmark. It was wonderful place.
He's a very underrated composer, I think.
Incredible composer.
You need to really pay more attention to that. So I had to ask the lady at the cash register I pay for this, if there's no record in here, can I bring it back? This was $6. I don't know what it sounds like, but I have a CD of the original.
The playing will be amazing.
It's so thin. I can't imagine what's in here. It's horrible.
Tech Writer says about a Seraphim, Michael Rabin's Paganini on Seraphim is a long-held audiophile classic. Didn't know that, Tech. There are great sounding Seraphims. Thanks, Tech. It's great.
And one other thing I will mention, I did my last video on Straight Talk, which was about the Jazz Crusaders. I always end with a classical piece of music.
You love it, Jack. Love it.
Yeah, and I was listening to Malcolm Arnold's symphonies. I showed them to you, Anthony.
Jim reviewed the box for Audiophilia.
The penny with Ireland.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I told everybody if they're jazz oriented folks and they want to get into classical music, I think that's a great symphony to listen to, because there's a lot of, he was a very rhythmic, he was a trumpeter and kind of he wasn't a jazz player, but he could play it.
Remember I was telling you about Harry before the show in the pre-show. Well, Harry and Curry and my father, Tony Kershaw, and other two gentlemen, were big fans of the Hi-Los and big fans of the Four Freshmen. And they had their own group called the Concords that did quite well. Yep. And there was a big concert at the Albert Hall that Malcolm Arnold was directing. And he heard my dad's group, the Concords, and was so impressed with them. He wanted to write. He was discussing with the four of them, writing a piece for them, but he never got around to it. Poor Malcolm Arnold. If you go to Wikipedia, he had a very
strange life. All these guys had strange lives, but for jazz people who want to be exposed to classical music, Arnold's a great place to start because of his use of rhythm and brass. And
incredible composer. I mean, the pink one, the reference recording. Arnold Overtures is the best sounding record I have.
The slow movement, the lento in that fifth You'd think you're listening to Mahler.
Well, Jim reviewed it for Audie Philly. You can go back and
Yeah,
read the review. Like it's a great box. It's what is it? How much? $30 or something?
It's cheap.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's Naxos one. Also, his score to Bridge on the River Kwai is worth getting as well.
Yeah. A lot of
Okay.
people think he wrote that. He didn't write that. He
did
scored
not.
it.
I'm going to just put a link up, guys.
He didn't write it.
He didn't write the I forget who wrote it, but he scored it. He scored the movie. He didn't write the theme for the bridge that, but somebody else wrote that.
So, Scott, I'm going to go to you, buddy, and we've got people going to come up, and then they can show their records. But we're going to go to you first, Scott. Okay? Put your mic on, bud. Scott, your mic is off.
I pulled a few things scattered from different labels. We've been talking about Deutsche Grammophon and tulips. This is a great one. I think Anthony probably
There
has
is.
one.
Oh yeah.
Christian
Yeah.
Ferris on Tulip is a different artist. I used to hear him on regular Deutsche Grammophones. Good. My
Scott,
God.
can you show that again?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a beauty.
Yeah.
They won a few awards here, I see. Edison and Grand Prix de Disque. Yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, I've kind of been just exploring these tulips again with all the attention on them lately. Can't wait to see Anthony's video. No, I'm sorry, this one is
That's a gorgeous. Is that a tulip?
yeah.
Oh, because I had the regular one. It's wonderful. I bet you on Tulip, that's one I'm going to look out for.
Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous. This guy. Be with you in a sec, buddy.
Sky might like this one. I know he likes string quartets.
Love string quartet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, the cartouche. Oh,
Oh.
this is some great. Now you're showing me. You should have sent them up for me.
I know.
Oh, just gorgeous, beautiful. You know,
Tulip.
Andrew from Oz did that great video for us. Remember the first or second episode of all the Deutsche Grammophon labels? It was wonderful.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love when he does a little label presentation. It's great. Okay, and
There's
this
another one
one.
for a while. Is that's also Tulip? Wow.
Yeah, this is tulip.
Well, I do
Beautiful.
say that there are hundreds of tulips, and I've only heard like 20 or 30 of them. So
Yeah,
we could have many more.
and the last of those is also a red cartouche. This is great. I love this record.
Oh yeah, famous.
Just harp
Hey,
in
Jim.
this beautiful space. Yeah, that's a great one. And I have a couple of Argos. I really am a big fan of Argo too, and I want to collect more Argos. So
Well, I gave you a list to collect.
Oh yeah,
But that's a great one, Jim. That's
it is. That's the classic when
That's,
you
that's a great one.
yeah.
I think this is on the original. No, it's on the Square Box label, but
Is that Andrew Davis playing the organ or something on it? Because it was either David Wilcox or Andrew Davis when he was an undergraduate at Cambridge.
well, the director is David Wilcox.
Yeah, David Wilcox.
In the Chapel of Kings
Yeah.
College. Yeah. I just love this music. It's like so different for me to explore this kind of music. This was
Another William Byrd was a Catholic, and when Henry VIII went to, he had to celebrate Mass in a private little dungeon, so he wouldn't get found out because he was so connected to Henry VIII. Otherwise, he'd have been hung.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another great one.
Yes.
Jeez.
This one used to be on the Absolute Sound Super Disc list. That's the second label.
Yeah.
And this one as well. Really nice record.
Just to let you know, guys, we're having a brownout here because there's wind. If the power goes out, and I might be able to get back up on my phone, but just in case it screws up, Love y'all. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Okay, sure. This is Benjamin Britten, Rejoice in the Lamb.
Oh,
I don't know. Can you see us, Anthony?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're beautiful.
Okay. And this is an unusual EMI. Christian Ferris also.
Oh.
oh
wow.
yeah.
Scott, are
And-
these from your vault?
Yeah,
They're incredible collection.
they were out for the yard sale last year.
No, with the William Byrd and those
I'm
tulips.
telling you, you got to come to my garage sale. Plan a trip.
Oh, look at that. That's a great
Wow.
one too.
It's great.
Now that's a good one to, because the Peer Gynt with Feldstadt is so expensive in every variation.
Yeah, these are concert classics, and this is a concert classic as
How
well.
does it sound? How does it sound, Scott?
Great. I think they're fine.
That one sounds very good. I know that. I've heard
They
it.
sound better than a high Q.
You got that right, buddy.
And just a couple more. These are bluebacks. Well, actually,
Just one sec, buddy. Max has a question for you. Can you read that?
sure. Scott, could you remind us what is the vault? Well, the vault is where my climate-controlled storage space, where I have thousands of records. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Wow.
It's a mess right now.
Well, in Miami, you need climate control.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh God, that's an expensive record, right there.
Yeah, I think I have this
Oh, yeah.
in the speaker's corner with a different cover. This is an odd-looking cover. It's a narrow band, but it's not blueback. But I love this period too.
And Max goes fancy.
Graduation Ball. What do you think about that piece, Anthony?
Which one?
Graduation Ball. Do you know it?
Ballet? You know, I do not know it. Who wrote it?
Strauss. Johann
Which one?
Strauss.
Which one? Senior, junior?
Johann Strauss. Doesn't say.
Oh, is it a concoction of all the Strauss things?
This no, it's a ballet.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Strauss.
did somebody
Strauss.
concoct it? Like Richard Boninch used to conduct, like.
Oh well, it's Strauss and arranged by Girardi.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
It's a
And then-
concoction.
And then there's another one called The Spectre of the Rose Ballet by Weber on this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spectre de la Rose by
Willy
Weber.
Boskovsky.
Text says that Ricci with Gambit is phenomenal on the wideband blueback. Yeah, but it is
Yeah.
huge though. That's right. Yeah, that's a very expensive. Anything with Ricci is expensive.
Yeah, sure.
These are great records, by the way, Scott. All teasing
Yeah.
aside, man. Unreal. Oh,
That's
look
on
at
the
that
next screen, Rosamond. This is Answer Me. And
Gorgeous.
two more. This one you don't see too often.
Wow.
The repertoire is kind
In
of
fact,
odd.
I've never seen it.
No?
Amazing. Serena.
Yeah.
And Cristobal Halfter.
This is Gonzalo Soriano and Odon Alano, the Orchestra National de Spain. And the last two, this is Vivaldi, Guitar Concerto.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, this is wonderful too.
Oh.
Beautiful cover, right?
I would venture to say this is the best selection you've ever come up with tonight. They're all unique, brilliant pressings, famous in musical terms, and yet not mainstream. Brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to be getting that unfinished carry-on because I love it from when I was a kid, but I didn't realize it was on Tulip.
mm-hmm. And this is the last.
Oh yeah, who's playing?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, well, how much is that? How much is that?
How much
That's
does it
$100
cost?
record.
I don't know.
It's a $100 record. Hey, guys,
Is
yes,
it?
and yes, I put the link up. I know that Angie sends her regards. I know she was working in the store till quite late tonight, so she said she was going to have difficulty getting on. So hopefully we'll see.
Joey, hit the link, Joey.
Yeah, Joe. Hit the link, Joe. So we have Jim and Sky. Sky, I mentioned you in the video on Friday coming up with the Kempf, which is one of my selections for the tulips. Just a beautiful box set. And I was listening to them, and it's like after all five, this is audiophile stuff. It's audiophile. Like you hear the percussive piano and the air around it. It's just gorgeous. So it's great. It's great to see you. And Jim, it's great. Your mute's on, Jim. I can take it off, I think. Your mic isn't connected. Yeah, it says here your mic is not connected.
Jet lag.
Yeah, I can't.
Where's Ryan?
I don't know. I put the link up. Yeah, Jim. Why don't you? When I'm talking to Sky, why don't you try and connect your mic? I'm not sure what's going on.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay, you.
Sorry.
Leave it all fun. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. We've been talking. I'm going to get you big for a sec. Sky, we are going to get to you. I'd love to see some records. But I want to talk to Jim just for a little bit about, Jim, tell us what's been going on in the last, I've been privy to it because we've been talking. But what's been going on the last couple of weeks as far as your audio system is concerned?
Well, I've been on a whirlwind tour. I had a flight to New York, and the flight to New York after that to see my son play at Lincoln Center. They did the Beethovens. They did all the middle quartets. And
how was that?
It was unbelievable. I mean, literally standing ovations after, the first half and the second half. So, it came out well. And then
Congratulations.
Thanks. And then I canceled my return trip and went to Fort Myers to pick up the NBL after talking to you and reading about it. And I got such a good deal on the 51 that you have and the CD player, the 31, whatever the number is.
The CD DAC.
Right. And so I rented a car, and that's the longest trip I've made for and my wife was kind enough to put up with me during that whole trip. We got some warmth out of it. So,
boy, you got two great pieces of equipment.
They really are. I mean,
are you loving them? Are you loving them?
I'm blown over. I mean, I've had this tube amp for probably 7 or 8 years, a VAC tube amp. And when I got I went from a traditional dynamic speaker to the Magnapans, and I kept the tube amp on the recommendations that VAC said that it could do it, but I didn't realize what I was missing with these MBLs. I mean, they really take a hold of the Magnapans, and they sound unbelievable. I mean,
oh yeah, they'll control them. When I wrote that review, it's still current, by the way, and it's about the only review on the internet. Those buggers put the price up to $21,400, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Yeah. But you got a great deal, and you got a deal, and that'll last forever, and it's still current. I mean, you're going to these designs, and they last forever. So yeah, enjoy. And you're looking for some MBL speakers, are you? Is that what's next?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure I am, but Oh
no, you were looking for a Phono stage.
I'm looking for a Phono stage, and you recommended that's what I don't know how many of you use the SUTs, the step-up transformers. I don't know how many people use it.
Angie, myself, and Angie sending Scott the
okay.
The airtight. When Scott hears that with the airtight, it's going to be like, oh God, I can't live without it. It just adds this magic fairy dust to the sound. The one I recommended to you, Jim, is the
the ear.
The ear. Get the bass one. Get just the cheapest.
MC4.
No, get the bass.
You mean the Phono box? Yeah.
Yeah, the Phono box. Moving magnet, and then add the Tim Paravicini hand wound transformers, the MC4, $2,500. For $4,000, you're going to have a world class Phono stage. Because I just reviewed the Phono box, and it's going to get a great review. and that's coming in a couple of weeks.
The question I had was on the Phono box. It has a volume control, right?
Yeah, you don't need it. You can have it. It's just if you want it. I don't like them, but I use it for I set it at 3 o'clock, which is about 62 dB, which is what I like, and that's fine. But you don't have to use it.
You don't have to bypass.
No, you can't bypass it, but you don't. But you can also plug it straight into a power amplifier and not have a preamp. But you just get the basic black, no volume, moving magnet with a nice cable that connects the MC4 SUT, because that SUT is a killer for $2,500.
Yeah,
so for $4,000, you're going to have a world-class phono stage. Like, and the Phono box did things that my Phase Mation can't do, and the Phase Mation is $6,400. So it's really wonderful.
I'll mention your name, right?
What's that?
I said I'll mention your name to
whom?
At the I don't know, our Canada or our
Audio Arcan. Oh, Warren is an
one that I know
advertiser. Wonderful man.
Okay.
Yeah, give him a call. See what he can do for you.
Sure.
Tell him you're a friend of Scott's and Anthony's.
I want to say one thing though.
Yeah,
I've been watching. I did watch the Robert interview, and it was great. I mean,
he was amazing, eh?
He is, yes. And it just amazes me that these young guys are on top of everything. I mean, they're looking for every inch of getting better on their instrument. And I talked with Effendi a little bit about, he went over to Germany to watch Sabine Meyer play her last concert with Berlin. That's why the dog was here. But he went on and on about he's into playing on German style clarinets now.
Oh, the German system. Well, I love the German system, but the Brits won't have it. But I will tell you one thing. Robert told me lots of things behind the scenes I won't reveal. But I said, and how's the principal clarinet? He said, he's amazing. Well, of course he's amazing. He got the job.
Yeah.
You can only be amazing to get the job. But I went on the YouTube channel and had a look. And he is a magnificent artist, that clarinet.
He really is. Yeah.
He really is. He's playing some Prokofiev. There's some Romeo and Juliet, and it's like, whoa! I can tell in 5 notes where the guy's coming from, and he's amazing. And so, but so is Robert. So they got a great team.
Yeah, they sound great. And the other thing I wanted to mention is what last week when James was talking about the what he's been doing for young people, and I just really appreciate what he goes out of his way and does all this. I know he's a great viola player, but he goes out of his way to play to get these young people into playing in orchestras. To the London thing that you did last week.
Oh, with the Liverpool Philharmonic, yeah.
Right. I really appreciate that.
Great people. I know we have great. Next week we got Andy Finden coming on. He's #1 caller in London. He's doing Les Mis tonight, and he's doing Wicked last week, and he does he's done movies, and he's in the National Symphony. His new recordings on Chasing the Dragon, the director disc, they're really good. He's a great player, great guy. So, Sky, some records?
Sure.
Solo layout, Sky. Solo layout.
Get out the credit card.
Credit card later, maybe the third one. Let's do a new one. Dag.
Wow, Dag Beeren.
So
we got some crazy records tonight, guys.
Yeah, it's a Swedish composer. It's not pretty well known, but I will highly recommend you actually stream the string quartet number 3 and number 4, and especially the number 3. The second movement, this is why I love string quartets. It's just the tone quality and sensibility is just right there. It's a great album to get it. So if you can find it, this is a pretty unusual label.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. But it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful.
We had some amazing records tonight. Dag
All right.
Beeren.
since we were talking about tulips,
Oh God, where have you been all my life?
let's do the Bruckner String Quintet.
Oh, look at that!
Oh,
And
Wow.
of course, who is better than the Amadeus String Quartet? I mean,
yeah.
it
Sharon,
just doesn't get any.
Could you get the Discog side up, please?
It doesn't get better than that.
Yo,
String quartet. Now, this is the one I actually just recently purchased. I haven't opened it, but I'm hoping that it will be as good
Oh,
as the
nice.
one I showed
Yeah.
last time. I think that he was doing the Haydn and the Schubert.
Gorgeous.
So I have a feeling that this will be really.
Let us know. Make sure you let us know.
Yeah. Okay. The last. Maybe this is for Jack. This is
Oh,
Rossini Sonatas. So
Jack,
this-
don't look, Jack. Avert your eyes. That's the one that Angie said. It's like five. She has 2 copies. They're $500 each.
well,
Yeah.
It's amazing. Where'd you get it from, Sky?
I got it from a friend. So it is. He actually now, if you can find a Corda on Philips, but that box set is also really expensive. So if you're lucky, if you can find a Philips box set, I mean this is a Philips box set, but it is actually on Decca.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's
Well,
crazy.
and-
That's so expensive, though, Sky.
Oh boy, does this sound so good! So Jack, you can still find this on Discog.
What's the repertoire? What
It
are they
is.
playing?
They're playing number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, and 6.
String.
You're
well,
right,
I
Jim.
record brush this week. It's going to be Rossini. Oh, look
It
at
is.
that!
It is so good. It is so
I
good.
bet it is.
Well,
Angie has 2 for
there's-
sale.
There's another one I got. Look at this album cover. I thought maybe Scott will really enjoy this. This is a Sibelius Symphony Number 2 with the Zell. So I haven't heard this.
That is really good,
It's
by the way.
fantastic. One of the top Sibelius twos. Almost as good as Barbarelli.
Uh,
That,
But it does state it's just a Japanese drawing. It just caught my eye. I thought Scott would enjoy
I
it.
have that on CD. It's my number 3 favorite Sibelius too.
It's a great record. And Jim was very kind to send me
Don't
the,
forget,
one
stream
tonight.
this. One thing though, please, it is so amazing how many string quartet pieces I put on my turntable, and I ask my visitors to just tune in and listen to it. And after like 5 to 10 minutes, and after the entire piece is played, they're like, wow. I think one of the things is we don't usually do is just listen the entire piece. Stay with it, and you will be transported, really.
Thanks, Guy. Fantastic. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Let me get you.
pretty
Let me
good.
get you big here. There we go. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, good. Got
I
to go to
just-
a garage
you know-
sale, which had
I mentioned you. I mentioned you in the video on Friday. My tulip video.
so I got to a garage sale that had some Cuba class records. This one I'd never seen before. Does anybody know this Lalo ballet?
Your Wi-Fi's a little funky, but I can't see it. It's all blurred.
Really?
No, yeah, no,
Lalo.
no. Your Wi-Fi's a little bit. Just tell us what it is.
Okay, it's a Lalo ballet suite, Namo Una. You see that?
Oh, well, now you
Oh,
see
John
that's not-
Martineau, Edward Lalo, yeah.
Wow, Lalo, that's a rare record. Is that a tulip?
Yes,
No, it's not that old.
Oh, okay.
It's
It's
it
not
sounds really good. This is the you see the so it's not a tulip.
No,
Huh.
okay.
It's it's a ballet that has a dance called the waltz of the cigarette, and the ballerina's supposed to dance and smoke.
Is there a ballet called Namuna on there?
Yeah, Namuna. Yes, that's what this is.
Yeah,
So
there's a
the
big
two suites.
there's a big flute solo that my flute teacher played. He kind of premiered it, And so when he did his flute compendium at Trinity for flute students, he included it, and it's a really interesting solo. Yeah, Namuna. Yeah, it's a. Oh, there we go. Now it's a little clearer now.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
love that cover.
It's a great cover.
Yeah, so the artist is Peter Vondry. He's a Hamburg-based German artist. He did like the Steinberg planets. I guess you showed that last time. That cover from the planets, and he also did the also Sprache Zarathustra on that too. And he did this Pulcinella. Do you have this?
Oh, that's the Pulcinella. Well, we had a guy on earlier tonight.
That is good.
Telling me about the Toronto one. That's very good. But that's, as far as the whole ballet with the voices, that is number one, the best. That's, in fact, I've been telling the guys at Deutsche Grammophon to redo that one. It's the playing on that record is a great. It's only bettered by the Academy Cinemas in the Fields one, just the ballet, just the orchestra. But it's wonderful. The trumpet playing on that is out of this world.
Yeah, so he's an interesting artist. I took my son to an orchestra. The Hawaii Youth Orchestra came. The first time I've heard an orchestra on Maui in about 10 years. They played the Romeo and Juliet, Tchaikovsky Romeo and Juliet, and he didn't like it. It was too loud for him. So he was holding his ears during all the cymbal crashes, and we had to move back further because it was too loud. And he just started taking violin lessons yesterday.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm going to need earplugs too. But they played Tchaikovsky, Romeo and Juliet.
That's the famous one. Great. That's a great one. And it's been it's been remastered. It has been or going to be remastered by the DG, the original source.
I think next month they release it next month. So
I hope
there's
it's good. It's a great performance of both of them. You know the best Scriabin, though, if you want to get the best Scriabin, a cheap vinyl pressing of 1960s recording the Philadelphia with Ormandy with Gilbert Johnson. Do you know Gilbert Johnson, Jack, the trumpet player?
I do.
Yeah. Oh God, his poem of ecstasy is incredible.
So probably not going to get to Brahms today, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, we've only got about five minutes. Let me just get. So who do we? Yeah, we've only got about 5 or 6 minutes. We'll do a little bit of round robin. So next week, guys, before we come around, next week we have Andy Findon, our guest. Andy should be back. Scott, my dear Scott, will be absent next week. He's indisposed, as they say. So Jim will be the co-host with the mostest next week. And of course, you're all welcome on. We love seeing you. I talk about Sky and Ryan on the videos coming up. Now let me just go through some of the final questions here. Hey, Leanne, how are you? Yeah, look, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. Most of them are pretty good looking, but we need a lady up here at some time. Okay, Leanne. So of course Joey right in there. Remember? Hi, Leanne. Yeah, and then of course Leanne. Hi, Joey. And Loki, boy, Loki, what time is it for you, mate? You must be exhausted. I guess the same as Jim. Except Loki lives up in Salford, so it's a different time.
It's 20 past 2 here.
Yeah, 25. Yeah. Well, yeah, but he's up in Salford. So, Loki, yes. Are you talking about which one are you talking about, mate? I'm not sure. But Analog Phonic, I'm just planning out the video now, and I got such a great response from the Instagram. I know you had the Michelle Elman one. I've asked you about that before. What do you think of it? The one I've been showing, the Rostropo, which is very, very good. Joey says great record.
Anthony, please reach out to Deutsche Grammophon. I really would love for them to reissue some string quartets as chamber music. I mean, we only got like one, and they have a great library, especially the Amadeus string quartet. The whole Beethoven cycle will be just my dream come true. It will be.
Yeah, they're very fine. They're very fine. I told you about Nova Brain, an interesting group, very severe people, very serious people, man, but great players, amazing. So what's going on this week, guys? Scott, next week you're off. We're going to miss you terribly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't make it.
Right? That's okay.
Yeah.
You got a meeting at work, and then you got to go in. Will they feed you?
Yeah.
That's good.
They feed you and pay you. Yeah, but it's
that's good. Oh, and pay and feeding is good. Jim, what do you have on this week, buddy? It's nice that Clara has been. It might get nominated for a BAFTA for her work, which is amazing. Tell her congratulations. What about yourself? What's going on with you?
Well, some stuff I'm doing ready for this presentation in March that I'm doing with the NHS, so doing some of that. And I've got another idea for a piece really for the magazine, so I think I'll start having a look at that for next week.
Well, the Elgar 2 was great. Maybe do one on Elgar 1. That would be great.
I could do another one. I was thinking of doing one on sort of Offenbach operas, on operettas.
Oh, yeah. You
What
mentioned
magazine is that, Jim?
But I can do another Elgar one as well.
he
Yeah.
said, which Jim, he said, which magazine is that? Is he
Magazine? Well, there's only one, isn't there?
That's right. You said it. Man.
There's no others in existence, you know. It's like, you know.
Hey, listen, you ain't far wrong, buddy. Well, I mean,
I know. Well, no, absolutely. You know.
there's two print ones, and they're they have coins in that. They're advertising coins and crypto and stuff. They're not advertising stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. Anyway, Jim, thank you. But anything from you is welcomed, especially about when you read about Elgar. I love it. Jack, what are you up to this week? You got a video coming out tomorrow. What's tomorrow? What video?
Well, we're going to try to do it tomorrow. I think I have to go see my financial advisor to buy the new record brush and Sky's Rossini.
Just together, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'd be about $900 US. For the two of them.
It's well worth it.
and no doubt, I think the Rossini takes precedence.
Well,
I will tell you the record brush. Jan, I wonder if you could just get the record. Wait for a second. I just want to show Jan's gonna. Oh, here she is. Oh,
My good friend Richard Brown, who comes on here once in a while,
thank you,
and
darling.
his wife are coming down. Joey, you met them with me up in the record store in Ann Arbor. So we'll probably go record shopping maybe one day this week.
Lovely. So there it is. It's
The hockey puck.
check that out. Check that. See, they come down and there's sorbothane, and it really works very well. I did a shootout with this one. Could you just pass me the other one as well, please, darling? Thank you. I did a shootout with this one against John's. John's was excellent. But this one is 900 euros. And this one is 6,700 euros.
Do you have the Origin Live?
No, I've heard it's very good. They're sending me their Agile arm 12-inch, and thanks, Sonny.
Yeah, I have their record. I don't want to call it a record weight. It's so light.
Jim, even that $88 one for a project will make your turntable twice as good. It really is excellent. I'm not kidding. Well, guys, next week we're going to do. We'll have Brahms probably. We have a guest. We get a little bit backed up. But the homework is the Brahms symphonies, individual or box set.
Oh
Yeah, that's it. That was before the original source, and that was done by Rainier Mayard at Emil Berliner. Jim, enjoy your stuff, and good luck with your phono stage. But the phono stage will make a big difference. Then you have to get. I love Maggies. I love them. And once you hit the mid-range of the Maggie, it's great. But you need special stuff with Maggies. But they do sound great. And Sky, what's on for this week?
Some chamber music. Just more chamber music and more.
Wow.
And Wicked says, "Good night, all. Thank you, thank you." Hope he's talking to Rick. And Joey says, "Hi, Jan Jan." Where did you get Jan Jan from? Because my beloved brother-in-law who died last year, and we just loved him to death. And my brother's husband, and he's the most wonderful man. And he used to call Jan Jan. So Joey, where do we get that? Where do we get that from? So anyway, Jan, yeah, Jan. Joey says hi, Jan. She says hi, Joey. Anyway, guys, stick around for the after party, where we talk gossip and talk smack about all the peanut gallery. No, we talk about it with love and affection. Have a fantastic week, everybody. That's it. It's 90 minutes. Thank you to the peanut gallery for again showing up and Jacob says, great show. Glad to be able to catch it live. Keep it up, guys. We will, Jacob. And please come up. Don't be shy. I mean, all these guys came up the first time, little trepidation, but they've come up all the time now. And Jack built it into a career. He used to go first, and then he was subbed, and then he's like, hey, Jack's part of the family now. So but you're all part of the family. And then, of course, Ryan and Sky and Jim, who have come up all the time. And it's too bad you weren't here last week, Jim, when Rob was on, because we would have done some serious teasing. I did a little bit of teasing with him, and that bugger owes me a bottle of wine. Anthony, Michael Tilson Thomas is going to get the Chicago Civic. And no, he's not, mate. I'll bet you a bottle of wine. All right. And then, of course, Muti got it.
All right.
Anyway, it's wonderful. So, and Rick says it's audiophilia. So, of course, it's good. See, Jim, somebody loves me.
I'm training him, Anthony.
I'm training him. That's right. And Leanne, bonsoir. Good night, dear Leanne.
Good night.
Okay, guys, have a great. Just stick around for a second. Have a great week. Thanks for everybody, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.